children. Hope you all are fit, fine, healthy and having a great time with your family. You know what? The situation in which we all are in today remind me of this saying by this famous Australian educator Peter Drucker. He said learning is a lifelong process. And don't you feel this is quite relevant? Wherein we all are learning to adjust to this new scenario. Even we teachers are learning the ways so that your learning should not get affected. So let the candle of learning keep burning. Are you excited? I am super excited to do this teaching and learning the new way. For me, learning is equals to explore. So why not explore your 7th grade English textbook together by starting off with the very first poem, Past, Present, Future by Emily Bronte. Before we start with the today's class, I just want you all to understand and know what are we going to learn from today's class. That means what is our objective of today's class. So today we are going to learn to comprehend this poem using this reading strategy called prediction. Wondering what this prediction is? Let's explore through this fun game called What's in My Bag. Now here in my bag I have got 2 objects and I am not going to tell what those objects are. Rather, I would describe them as to how do they look, what are they made up of, what are they used for, and on this basis of my description, you are going to make a guess what those objects are. Are you ready? Excited? So let's get started. What's in my bag? So here we go with the first riddle. It is thin as a stick. It has an elongated body and made up of wooden lead. What do you think what this object could be? Well, if you have guessed it as a pencil, then you are absolutely correct. Let's move on to next one. 3 siblings with unique features. One talks about yesterday all the time, the other loves to do all the stuff today, and third one is huge fan of tomorrow. What do you think what this object could be? Well, if you have guessed it as a watch, then I want you all to think of why do we use watch? Exactly, to see time. So our today's poem is based on the theme of time. Before we start with the poem, I just want to bring this to your notice. What led you to get the correct answers of these riddles? Is it your past knowledge about the object as to how do they look, what are they made up of and what are they used for? If the answers for all these questions are yes, then you have guessed it right, you have predicted right. So prediction is equals to guess. Whenever you make a guess on the basis of your previous knowledge, we called it as prediction. So let's get started with the poem. So let's begin. Past, Present, Future by Emily Bronte. So what is the objective of today's poem? To comprehend the poem using prediction strategy. To begin with, let's know a little bit about Emily Bronte. Emily Bronte was a British poet born on 30th July 1818 in England, and she died at an early age of 30 on 19th December 1848. Her pen name was Elise Bell. Now pen names are generally taken by authors and writers due to various reasons. In case of Emily Bronte, it was gender inequality that existed at that period of time. During that period of time, female works were not taken seriously, and that's the reason she had to go for pen name Elise Bell. She generally used to write fictions and poetry, and one of her notable work is Wuthering Heights. First we are going to read the entire poem and then we will comprehend it stanza by stanza. Skimming through the text, Past, Present, Future by Emily Bronte. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee? An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. Tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray where a young bird sits gathering its spar to mount and fly away. And what is the future? Happy one? A sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea stretching into infinity. So if you look at this slide, you will find towards your left you will find an image. Towards your right there are two questions. I want you all to observe this image carefully and give responses to the question that is there towards your right hand side. So in the image you will find there is a tree with yellow leaves on it. There is a swing, leaves are falling down. What do you think? In which season do we find leaves fall? Yes, exactly. It is fall season, or we can also say autumn season. So what kind of emotion do you associate with this image? A happy one or a sad one? Now this is something very interesting. If you have written happy, you are correct. If you have written sad, then also you are correct. Yes, this image has got the ability to bring about both the emotions together at the same time. Likewise, there is one more thing that has the ability to bring about happy as well as sad emotion at the same time. Can you think of that thing? What if I say memories? Don't you think that memories have got the ability to bring about happy as well as sad emotion at the same time? Yes, they have the ability. Let's move on to next one. Can you revisit the moment which has gone? Well, if you ask me, I would say yes, we can revisit the moment in our mind and be happy about it. But at the same time, we feel sad because we cannot go back to that moment physically. Let's look at the first stanza. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. So here the poet is asking the child what the past is like to him. Here thee is an old English word for you. And the child is giving the answer using metaphors. Remember, we did metaphor the last year. Metaphor is one of the figures of speech wherein indirect comparison is made between two people, objects or things. Here the child is comparing his past with autumn season, which was soft and mild. Again, soft and mild is indirectly compared with happy and pleasant moment. And if you look at the last line, with a wind that sighs mournfully, again wind is indirectly compared with the past time. Sighs mournfully means feeling sad and regretting. So here, for this child, the past was like autumn, which was happy, which was soft and mild, but at the same time the child is feeling sad because, like wind, the past has come and passed by. Isn't it an interesting way to talk about past? Likewise, the child has talked about present and future in a very interesting manner, and we are going to touch upon those stanzas in our next class. I have got something interesting for you all, the word wall. On this word wall, you will find all the words which mean to revisit the past moment, like nostalgia, remembrance, revisit, recall, recollect, or reminiscence. I want you all to use this word whenever you want to talk about past movement. As in, you can say, looking back at the old photographs brings a sense of nostalgia. Or you can say like this, you should always take time to indulge in nostalgia. Or, it's easier to reminisce on good memories rather than the bad ones. So now that we have learned a lot of things, where are we going to store them? For that, we are going to have our own portfolio. Portfolios are folders wherein we can store our work. Same way, we are going to make an English portfolio wherein we are going to store all our works that we will be doing during our sessions. So let's look at the things that we are going to require in order to make our English portfolio. So we are going to need a long book. If it is available to you, well and good. If not, no worries. You can make one by taking the unused page from your old books and bind it. Second thing, you are going to label it as English portfolio. And third and final thing, you are going to decorate it with the available stationeries. So that's enough, and your portfolio will be ready. Once you are done with making your portfolio, this is the first work that you are going to write in your portfolio. Name of the poem, information about the poet, authors and their pen names along with their notable works. That means you are going to find about 5 authors or writers who are using their pen name or had been using their pen name, and you are going to note it down in your portfolio. Then the word wall that you have seen in the slide just now, and finally 3, 2, 1 exit slip, and I'm going to show you this how you're going to do it. So this is how 3, 2, 1 exit slip looks like. You can draw this in your portfolio, and in this slip you're going to note down 3 things that you have learned from today's class, 2 things that you have found interesting, and 1 question that you have got from today's class. So that's all for today. Hope you all have enjoyed this new way of learning the way I did. See you in the next class. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and keep learning.